What is up, guys? Zan from Playbook.gg, and in today's video we're going to go over the Steeler switch out of the Gun Empty Steeler. Before we dive into this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the great tutorials that we've got headed your way here on the Playbook.gg YouTube channel. Okay guys, so welcome back. Now in today's video we're going to continue our trend that we've had over the last few weeks here on Playbook.gg of focusing back on concepts that you could apply to pretty much any playbook, whether it be a route combination from doubles or a route combination from twins or specific man beating concepts. These are all things that you need to retrain your brain and get yourself on a clean slate heading into Madden 20. There was already a Madden 20 closed beta. Cap and myself here at Playbook.gg were part of it. There was a lot of public feedback on Twitter, and a lot of the feedback was that man coverage was overpowered. Now, me personally, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I know Cap didn't agree with that whatsoever either. We just thought it's something that you have to think about differently. But over the last couple weeks, we've been trying to give you guys ideas on things that you could take into Madden 20, so that way you guys are equipped regardless of whether or not you know what the meta will be out of the box. Just things that attack cover 2, things that attack cover 3, things that beat man-to-man coverage. And one of the things that we talked about was double move routes of any type beating man-to-man coverage. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose to play Steeler switch, and we're going to focus on man-to-man. It could be cover 1, it could be honestly any man-to-man coverage. It's going to beat it pretty much the same way. Now, what you can see here on this play is that Washington is on a really interesting route. It's basically a corner route that then whips back over the middle. Basically, it looks the same thing as a whip. It's just a smart routed whip, essentially, and it breaks over the middle. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use what we talked about a couple weeks ago here on Playbook.gg channel against man coverage. And you guys know that man coverage cheats in Madden. It has for a long time. Back in Madden 25, I put out a tip on double move routes very similar to this, and it still works to this day. It also works against match zone, and honestly, it works against outside third zones. As long as you don't have a flat zone that's going to drop underneath this route, you're going to be able to throw this for an easy 10 to 15 yards. And all that you need to do is you see that Washington is going to break to the corner at about the 41 yard line. If you anticipate that throw and you throw him into that area of the field and then just rack it, you're going to see that you're able to turn this into a corner route that could pick you up some pretty decent chunk yardage against man-to-man coverage. Now, again, this is totally playing off everyone's input about the beta, knowing that the beta supposedly had OP man coverage. You see right here, we turned this into a gain of about 21 yards on a route that breaks at the sticks. And that is because what ends up happening is the game is cheating to the end point of the route. They know that that route isn't actually an in route, so they give up the separation to the out cut. And if all you have to do is just throw them open and rack catch it. So you see right here, we throw it right. We know that he's breaking into this cut right here. You see that we're basically anticipating the cut, and then I'm just clicking onto the receiver and rack catching it. So that way he snaps into an animation on the outside, and we pick up a gain of about 15 yards on this throw. So this is a really easy concept that we've shown a couple of times over the last few weeks. You can look for different double move routes in the game, and you should have pretty good success. It's just going to be one of those things that's going to be trial and error for you. Personally, sluggos aren't my favorite. Anything that's kind of a corner post, a corner in route, you see right here. You're also going to have to practice your click on. I mean, you definitely have to click on and take control of the receiver on these, but if you do so, you're going to notice that you can make these catches, and you're going to be very, very consistent against man coverage. So now what that does is that puts your opponent in a situation where they have to drop a outside linebacker, they have to put a safety in that spot, and now at that point, if they're taking a safety out of a deep half or wherever they're taking their resources from to take away this throw, you can go elsewhere with the ball, whether that's deep or over the middle or wherever else you want to go. Now, this play is not only great against man-to-man. I mean, we've shown you that a couple times, but you can run this against your zone coverages as well. You see that it's very well equipped to attack zone coverage because it's got a number of concepts that you can create with hot routes. So we go back to this play. Again, the play is called Steeler switch, and what you're going to notice is if we face cover 2. So let's go ahead and talk about cover 2 here. Your cover 2 defense, we could run a dagger concept. That is simply put a deep in route and a streak. And if you do this, you're going to notice that your in route is going to cut open underneath at some point. Now, the issue is that you have a mid-read zone. And because of that mid-read zone, you have to take him out of the play. So by streaking both of your slot receivers, you should be in a spot where you're able to run that player open. So you're going to see here, we're going to step up in the pocket. You can kind of see that with this particular play, your streak is actually open. So again, we're going to go ahead and throw this here. You see how we could go ahead and make this throw to the inside right here down the seam to Antonio Brown on the short side. That's going to be open. And then what they end up doing is they have to take that middle linebacker that's in the mid-read zone and drop him deep to defend that throw to the inside pass lead. So imagine this player doesn't stop right here. He has to follow Antonio Brown down the middle. Well, if he stops, if he's following Antonio Brown into this area of the field, now all of a sudden this route that breaks over the middle is going to be wide open underneath of that throw. So that's why this play has built-in concepts that I feel like are going to serve a really good purpose, is that you're going to be able to kind of manipulate these zones on top of also being a great man-beating play. So for instance, if I were to go ahead and move the ball here to the middle of the field, we could start to get into some other zone manipulation. So if I wanted to, I could streak Antonio Brown, I could drag Vance McDonald. That should really open up AB to the inside pass lead again. So you can kind of see how this is going to start to really manipulate these zones and open you up for other throws. So again, we go back and look right here. Because of this drag underneath, you see that the mid-read zone doesn't play as tight to Antonio Brown. He kind of has the split difference between the two. And that's going to open up the inside lead to the backside throw. And that's going to be an easy pitch and catch for you. And then obviously, you know, as you start to kind of evolve, people are going to really manipulate their coverage in other ways. And that's going to allow you to kind of, hit those two in cuts over the middle. Those are going to be the things that are going to break open when your opponent uses things. Obviously, the computer is programmed to play a certain way, only drop to a certain depth, but user players add that extra wrench into the step. So this is kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, we're focusing on what people were complaining about in the meta. We can absolutely beat man-to-man coverage on the outside with double moves, and then as long as you have some zone beating concepts that can flood underneath, you're going to be in pretty good shape when they start to call and mix in the zone coverage as well, so long as you know what you're looking for. If you like this video, check out one of the videos on your screen right now, and for more in-depth analysis, visit www.playbook.gg for detailed game plans written by pro Madden players. Master the game with playbook.gg.